Good evening. Our topic for today is when sex doesn't sell. Does the name and the photo give you any idea of what we're talking about?
Well, are you talking about the adult film industry in the Middle East?
That's a pretty good guess, and that would make for a interesting topic as well. But we are actually talking about how brands market lingerie and women's underwear in the Middle East. So the agenda for today is we're going to be taking a look at the Arab marketplace for women's underwear, the marketing challenge that brands face. We look at a case study of Change Lingerie in Saudi Arabia, and we look at how Change Lingerie markets and communicates with their audience in Canada. So the Arab marketplace. A common misconception is that devout and veiled Muslims would never think about sexy lingerie or proactive styles of intimate wear. But the truth of the matter is that veiled women have the same desires as any other women. So the most obvious difference is that the women in Middle East, they only wear such clothing in front of their husband, and that is because their husband is the only halal man to her, and therefore the only one allowed to view her in such garments. Now, halal in Arabic means something that is legal or allowed, and according to various hadiths of Prophet Muhammad, a hadith is a record or a tradition of sayings of Prophet Muhammad. He said that a man and his wife have no restrictions between them in the privacy of their bedroom. Thus, married women and may purchase any erotic intimate wear to please herself and her husband without guilt or shame. So in the Middle East, there are no sex shops. In fact, Nasib Husab, owner of Lebanese brand called Vaness, he said in an article that Arab countries, there are no sex shops. So lingerie shops, they double as this to sell such items. And then contrary to Islamic stereotyping, so lingerie sales are brisk in the Middle East, and women in Muslim majority countries enjoy buying sexy lingerie as much as women in West do. So in they are sold mostly in bazaars and souks, which are open air markets, and one can always find lingerie in piles in these markets. However, these shops are mostly they mostly stock lower quality items and are mostly owned by men, and this leads to uncomfortable and awkward encounters for women. And thus, the Arab marketplace presents a huge opportunity for brand name retailers to get in the market and sell lingerie. So, the marketing challenge: open display of lingerie in upscale urban boutiques is simply not allowed. So how do you tackle this? In Iran, the Iranian government warned retailers against displaying female mannequins wearing underwear or exposing body curves as part of government campaign against Western influence. And in a statement by their news agency, the authority said that men should not sell women's underwear and that displaying neckties or bow ties because they are considered un-Islamic. Um, they've also issued similar warnings in the past, but have stepped up their enforcement of strict religious dress codes since Mahmoud Ahmadinejad came to power in 2005. And that is the person you see in the photo. And in Palestine has completely banned shops from displaying women's underwear on their windows. The Hamas Islamic movement that controls the Gaza Strip, they said that this is done in intention to restore public morals in Palestinian society. They also mandated removal of scantily dressed mannequins from window displays, and they issued a warning of keeping shop doors open when women are inside and uh, displaying bras even inside their shops. Like you can't display lingerie even inside the shops when women are inside. You we can't help but wonder how women can select their underwear without seeing it first, unless the Hamas intended for shopkeepers to spend their days continuously opening and closing drawers in order to let customers choose. So in UAE Sharjah, the mannequins should be headless and clothing in window should respect the rules of decency according to the religious principles. In 2003, a fatwa, that is a formal ruling or interpretation on point of Islamic law related to this very issue, had already been proclaimed by Islamic Affairs Department but not implemented. But finally, religious authorities took firm action against these displays of mannequins, and they reinforced this ban because they got many complaints from residents who were against these mannequins in the shops. In Saudi Arabia, so the advertisements in Saudi Arabia they can't show the models, they just have to show the lingerie. And until 2012, since women were not allowed to work in Saudi Arabia, only men staffed these lingerie shops, and these led again to awkward encounters for women. And after years of protest by the Saudi women, King Abdullah, who you see in this photo, signed a decree to change the law. And we have a video related to this topic of how Saudi Arabian women gives her views on when this decree was passed.
This year, something new has appeared on the streets of Saudi cities. Female shop assistants. For now, they're only found in lingerie stores. King Abdullah signed a decree to change the law after years of protest by Saudi women over awkward encounters with male salesmen.
The decision makes it more comfortable for women to have privacy, and women can speak to the saleswoman and explain their needs better. At the same time, the female staff connect with women clients better than men. It avoids embarrassment.
It may seem like a big step, but the vast majority of Saudi women are still forbidden from working. The strict guardian system requires all women to seek the permission of a close male relative to travel to work, even.
Again, so moving forward,
London.
Yeah, so now we look at a case study of this brand called Change Lingerie, of when they launched themselves in Saudi Arabia. So they are a Danish lingerie and swimwear brand. And the objective of this ad was to announce themselves in Saudi Arabia. And the main focus was to utilize this concept of censorship in Saudi Arabia to pull focus on the brand's product line. And the ads were in English to target the upscale audience in Saudi Arabia. And according to Mazin Hassan, the creative director of Ogilvy Jeddah, the campaign was a huge success. So I want to ask you, what do you think? How do you think that they advertise their products?
I don't know. Do they use animation or VFX?
Again, that's a pretty good guess, but what they actually did was something creative. They blurred out the models with like photo editing, and they covered the models' body and skin, and so that they could just showcase their lingerie. And they had witty taglines like which were mocking the Saudi Arabian laws, in fact, that said censor anything but the bikini, or cover anything but the lingerie, and also edit anything but the bra. So now we'll see how Change Lingerie, they communicate with their customers in Canada. So first, some history first. They first launched in 2008 in Canada. And in 2018, a decade later, they had 20 stores across the country, including 6 in BC. In 2019, they opened around 15 stores, which proved that they were successful in Canada. And we see through these photos how there's no restrictions on covering the skin of the models, and even through their social media posts, their models and their products are everywhere. And they do not really face any major restrictions in marketing their products in Canada.
I just have a question. So
yeah,
in general, do they have any restrictions? I know you said there weren't any major restrictions, but do they have any specific restrictions with this regard?
Well, not really. There's just a few laws related to sex in advertising, which have some restrictions. So they say that the advertisement should not condone any personal discrimination based upon race, religion, sex, or age, and they should not condone violence or appear to, directly encourage bullying or demean or degenerate. Demean any group of persons, firms, or organizations. So it's basically about maintaining human dignity and yeah, not no form of discrimination.
I see.
Yeah, yeah, and that's about it. Thank you so much for attending. This webinar was short and sweet, and these are our list of references. Thank you.